with an epic Monday Night Football matchup tonight that has a bit of soap opera thrown in. The betting sites are already vibrating with the prospect that this could be a record year for them. Joining us now on a Fox Business exclusive, let's bring in the co-founder, chairman, and CEO of one of the leading gambling platforms, DraftKings, Jason Robins. Jason, we had some serious nail biters yesterday, but we got to start with the GOAT. How much action did you see on the Brady versus the Cowboys game?
Well, I'm sure this will surprise you, but that was by far the biggest betting game of the weekend for us. So, some things never change. And not only did you have the GOAT, you also had the Cowboys, which are, one of the most popular, I think the most popular team in the country. So really great start. And every game was great. There were many, many upsets, a lot of nail biters, just a great start to what we think will be a tremendous NFL season.
Well, can I bring up my Cleveland Browns? Hello, people. Did you see that epic 58-yard field goal at the end? I looked at that and I said, this is amazing. You had the kicker drilling that. A lot of games came down to the final seconds. Explain to our viewers how that plays in to amping up the betting in the last minutes of the game, or does it not? I don't know. You tell me.
Well, I think the most important thing is that the product is so compelling, right? So, if people are watching, they're generally betting, and when they're betting, they're watching more. It's a virtuous cycle. I know you and I have talked before about your Browns. I'm sure you're excited to see that. And, really, I think having close games is great. Also for live betting, people are more into it and they're looking at all the live bets, and we've seen increases year over year. Every year since we've launched in live betting. So that's something we're very excited about.
Tell me in the aggregate how the numbers looked yesterday compared year over year.
Oh, well, everything is up, of course. We have new states. Kansas just opened a few weeks, or I think a week or two ago. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of states that weren't live at the start of NFL last year, including New York, which, went live at the beginning of this year. So everything is up year over year. It's that time, I think, in the growth curve of the industry where, and I think it's especially true because this isn't the market that's being created from scratch. It's a market of customers that have been betting illegally for many years or in Vegas. But really, it's an existing demand that's out there. So when a new state opens up, it's like the floodgates open, and you can tap into a lot of existing demand versus a lot of products that are new to somebody would be products where you have to get, adopt them and grow into them. And this is one that's already existed. It's existed for, pretty much since the beginning of humankind. So people are ready to bet and they're excited when their state opens up.
Products. So I've started to see some very interesting offerings. For example, you had major bonuses yesterday that I saw as far as commercials were concerned, not just you, but the collective view of the platforms and the competitors out there. Everything from, first, if you're a first-time bettor, you can put down this much and then you will automatically get a whole bunch of other money to then continue the betting. The customer acquisition costs have gotten really high. Is there any way to get those down and then eventually see your platform as being profitable?
Well, if you look at this year, this NFL season, it is starkly different in a good way from last year. Last year, there was a lot of irrational competitive behavior in the market. This year, well, certainly there's advertising. How can there not be at the start of NFL? And there's new customer promotions. The level of those promotions has tapered greatly. The level of advertising is, definitely rationalized. So I think you're seeing, the industry enter a new phase. There was a lot of exuberance in the first few years. We also happen to be in one of the great bull markets of our time. So I think a lot of that fueled just excessive spending going into last NFL season, and it's completely night and day this year. If you look at the promotions, they're still attractive to customers, of course. People need to bring customers on the platform, but they're significantly down year over year. The competition is rationalized a ton, and I'm excited that we're entering that phase of the industry.
Could it be a record? This year, the expectations, we've seen a couple of surveys, look to top about $31 billion. That's for NFL and college football. So I get that it's not exactly just NFL comparison here, but are you expecting a record year of revenues?
Oh, absolutely. If you look at our guidance for, Q3 and Q4 this year, we've guided substantially up on revenue. So We expect to have tremendous growth. I think a lot of that is fueled by new markets, but a lot is also fueled by existing growth in states that we've had live, some for several years now. So to be able to continue to see a state that we launched 3-4 years ago grow year over year to start the NFL season is really compelling, and I think really helps us feel confident that the investments we're making in customer acquisition and opening up these new states are paying back in the way that we hoped they would.
Well, California voters in November are going to go to the ballot, decide whether to legalize sports betting in California in 2023. What's your best guess here?
You know, it's definitely one that I think could be a big prize. So we're excited about the potential. Obviously, a lot going into the last 6 weeks, so we'll have to, make sure that our message continues to be out there. Overall, we think this is great policy for California. It's going to generate hundreds of millions of tax dollars to help combat homelessness and mental health.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to come out of the California residents' pocket. It's coming from companies that are willing to pay it. So not only that, you also have an activity that people are doing all throughout California anyway, and no tax revenues being collected, no consumer protections are in place. So we think it makes a whole lot of sense for Californians to vote this up, and we hope that they do in 6-7 weeks during on election.
The tax revenue windfalls could be unbelievable for California. We shall see. Jason, I need you to say go Browns. Don't tell me you're a Patriots fan or something like that.
I am, but you know what? I actually have a special place in my heart for the Browns because a good friend of mine is Bernie Kosar, and he's about as much a Brown as I see. He's the best.
Awesome.
So I always love him, and I love the Browns.
We love us some Bernie Kosar and the Browns. Thank you, Jason. We'll be watching, and please join us again because basketball season's just around the corner and hockey. So we'll see you then.
I know. Thank you. Talk to you soon, Liz.
Anytime.